Here we go. Welcome back. Another great episode coming at you. Touching Tips, episode 6.
Right.
Episode 6, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
We're
getting
fucking
up there.
doing it here.
The number of the beast.
That's a couple more.
Getting after it. Yeah.
We need 660 more to get there, but
Well,
we'll
we're
do something
close.
special for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we just decided to jump right in on a little pre-screening meeting or whatever you want to call that and say, let's go. And we were talking about a weird situation that I saw outside of one of the places that I work at. I'm sitting there waiting for like a new trainee to come in. So I'm just like sitting in the window, like people watching, you know what I mean? And I see a like, I don't know, this guy's got to be like 45, 50-year-old like male photographer. And at first I just see him and he's taking pictures of this place across the street. They sell like dresses or something, or it's like a fashion store. And I was like, all right, that's cool. He's like taking pictures of just like the city, you know?
Yeah.
And then like more is to be revealed. Now he's got like this like 17-year-old girl with him and he's like taking pictures of her. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And you know, it looks like she's taking like her senior photos or
Okay. All right.
whatever it is. But you're like, okay, but like I don't have kids, but to me, if you let your 17-year-old daughter go with a 50-year-old male photographer on a stroll around the city, that's fucking sketchy. Like, I don't care if that's like your friend from fucking middle school.
Yeah.
That's still weird.
Yeah.
Like, who does that? You know?
The bass player for Fish.
Well,
Do you know about that story?
No, I don't know much about Fish. I just know that they're kind of like the Diet Grateful Dead.
Yeah, they're fucking awful. But then on top of that, their bassist like got caught like taking like art book photos of like a 13-year-old girl kind of thing. And the 13-year-old girl was like a fucking Hell's Angels daughter. I guess he ended up getting the business from him. So,
Dude, that's like
uh,
some other like record executive just got caught having like lunch with like a 16-year-old or something like that, and he got confronted on camera about
Yeah.
it, and like he was like, well, there's nothing illegal about it, and the guy just slaps him right in
Yeah.
the face, and I was like, this is great.
so is that what we're going right into child molestation?
I don't know.
How did we end up
always
here
get in
already?
there. Yeah, I was gonna say we always that's like a favorite topic of ours. I do enjoy that rabbit hole of like of exposing them,
Yeah.
where they like trick them.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And they like get him to go to Walmart, and then
Right.
they're like fucking yelling at him for the whole time. He's like
he's like making a beeline.
he's like
Yeah.
fast walking out of the store. They're
Yeah.
like, It's
Bro's
great.
here to meet a 12-year-old girl.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, he's here to me.
Yeah.
It's great. I love it.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know, that's
I mean, I feel like isn't there like that? That's all it is when you really look at musicians. Like all of your greatest bands will be ruined with
oh yeah.
with that.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone who wants to, you know, with all the fucking Drake shit going on with the Kendrick Lamar diss or whatever, if you want to go back into the history of like Led Zeppelin and shit, there's some questionable shit going on.
You know
for
what?
Sure,
What's
you know?
a more recent one that I was just exposed to?
What's
I
that?
haven't done too much digging about it, but Jerry Seinfeld,
Oh yeah,
He's
yeah.
like-
he straight dated like a
like
fucking
a 17-year-old when he's 38.
Yeah, well, older than that, I think. He was like deep into fucking Seinfeld at that point. He was probably, I think he was like 46 at the time.
The fuck,
Yeah,
Jerry?
he might have been done with Seinfeld actually. Like that's how fucking old he was. You know? Yeah, dude, they're
Dude,
fucking.
I can't even imagine that. You know how fucking stupid a 17-year-old girl is? Like, what interest do you have in ever talking to one of those? Like,
I guarantee you, they have no interest in talking to them.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the worst. When you make your fucking stupid kids order for themselves and they don't know how to do restaurants, I fucking hate you. Like, just tell me what your dumbass fucking kid is having.
All
Like,
right.
yeah.
That took a left turn.
Yeah.
But I will. Yeah, I mean, I have 3 kids. I don't let them talk. You know, or at the very least, I make sure that they fucking are ready. Like I'm like, what do you want? You better tell that motherfucker. And if it takes longer than 6 seconds, like you're cut
You got
off.
the backup.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what they're having.
exactly.
Yeah.
yeah. But that comes from like years of being in the service industry and just not wanting to fucking deal with that shit.
Yeah, like you know you're causing problems.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I can't. You see it happening before it even happens.
Yeah, I can't relax at restaurants. I can't relax, especially like going to the bar and shit. Like my wife, we don't sit at the bar because my wife hates sitting at the bar with me. Because
Yeah.
I'm constantly looking around, being like, you know, they need fucking ice, or you know, they didn't even greet this fucking guy yet, and it's been like 3 minutes. You know, it's like I can't turn it off,
Bro.
Yeah,
This leads me into a great thing. I don't know if I wrote it down on my pad,
yeah.
but I was this close to being a snitch on another service staff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to go tell the manager that they were terrible. And then my wife got there, and I just left with her instead.
Oh, so like a spot that you went to.
Yeah, like
yeah.
this spot's in my neighborhood, right? I don't know what I think I was doing yard work. It was Memorial Day. I was doing yard work all day.
Yeah.
And I need a fake beer. And I was like, what? I was like, I could go to this like Asian fusion place, but I don't feel like driving that far. Really, it's only like the difference of like a mile.
Right.
But I was like, and really, I wanted nachos, bro. My fat ass wanted some nachos. So I was like, either I'm going to go to Uno's, which is by the Asian place, or I'm going to go check this place out that closed and now they're open again. They closed as the same thing as they're open back again. And I'm like, all right, I'll just go check this place out. The first thing I do, I walk into the place and the host is there, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go sit at the bar. Is that okay? She goes, yeah. So I walk into the bar area, and the guy like breaks whatever conversation he's having. He's like, "What do you want?" And I was like, "Holy shit, dude!" Like, so I like go, I just start taking a seat. I'm like, I don't understand what the fucking deal is here, you know. So I take a seat, and then he like realizes. So I guess what the story is there's kind of like a function going on.
Yeah.
Like all the people that I saw in the dining room area of it, like there's a wall between the dining room and the bar. You walk through like this little hallway.
Yeah.
So, you know, I see people in the dining room. It doesn't occur to me that they're all one thing, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. They're having a rough time with these people. They don't seem like, I didn't judge the place being like, oh, this place is rough. You know, like none of my alarms went off. So he just kind of hits me with that. He realizes I'm just some dude coming in to eat by himself like a loser. And, you know, so then he gets me my drink. I hear him talking about how he's just completely dissatisfied and uninterested in working in this industry anymore, and how he wants to pursue a goal of working in the medical device industry.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, this guy doesn't give a shit. Like, who cares? Just put my fucking nachos in and get me another fake beer when I'm ready.
Yeah.
You know, like no big deal. So then I'm introduced to like this other bartender, and she's like I don't know, just a trashy lady a little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I give her the benefit of the doubt. She's kind of talking to me, oh, welcome back. I told her, you know, you used to come here before you guys closed. And I was like, all right, she's all right. No sooner than this, like 2 minutes after we have this conversation, this couple comes into the bar and they're like, open table. We made a reservation on open table at 7:45.
Yeah.
And this place, I don't know if it was because it was Memorial Day or if it's just because it was Sunday, that they closed at 8. The kitchen closes at 8.
Yeah.
So I just listened to this other dude say that he's not making enough money here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This place just opens up. The other girl's being smart enough to say, welcome back. Hopefully this is another thing. No sooner does she go, well, the kitchen's, you know what I mean? She just totally switches the thing up. She's like talking way too loud and way too authoritative to these people. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yo, homegirl, you just blew it.
Yeah.
You just blew it. Like you literally, I looked at my phone right there. I said, you literally just 2 minutes ago put my food in. 2 minutes ago, 120 seconds ago, you put my food in. One ticket went into the kitchen.
Yeah.
I go, you're telling me you didn't have it in you to be like, I'm so sorry, open table allowed you to do that. Normally, you know, we cut food off at whatever time before. You know what I mean? There's so many other better ways that she could have pivoted to handle this to like make a new regular for life. You know what I mean? Like you could have done the whole, oh, I'm not your server, but I'll take care of you trick.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just another advanced layer of that. And she blew it. And I like left that place being like, this place sucks. Fuck these people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't even believe that you'd be so fake and nice to me at one second and then so shitty to these people at the next. You know what I mean? And that's
What were they in, like sweatpants?
Nah. I mean, dude, this is like a local spot. Like I was in sweatpants.
Yeah.
I was in
That's true. That's your garb.
Yeah, like I was in this. You know, I probably like, bro, I look like a drug dealer when I walk. I'm in sweatpants, Jordans, and a t-shirt.
That's fine. Drug dealers tip well.
That's a 50-50 shot, but
I don't know about that.
And I probably smell like weed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, but I don't know. So she just blew it for me. And I was like, so yeah, the whole time, like eating my food. And then the nachos were great. And the mac and cheese came out. And it was like fucking noodles and like heavy cream and butter. And I was like, who made this more expensive than the nachos?
Yeah.
I don't understand. So I pay my bill. And, you know, because of the fit that she threw to these people, now my wife was in route to meet me there.
Yeah.
So she just blew, you know, Renee getting a couple drinks before we left on that tab too. And it's like, you ruined this whole thing for yourself, lady.
Yeah.
I'm out of here. I'm never coming back. You're a jabroni.
Yeah.
You're lucky I didn't tell your manager on you.
I mean,
Like-
is it my favorite part about the job having people walk in at 5 minutes to closing? No, but it's a part of the job. It just is what it is. And also,
there's a difference between 5 minutes to close and you're all done. Nobody else is in there.
yeah,
I'm not the only person in here.
Exact-
I'm not you just served me and 5 other people like around a drink, rang food in for them 2
Yeah.
minutes ago.
right, exactly. They're another $20.
You're a
You
fucking
don't want another
idiot.
20
yeah,
bucks?
you just
Yeah,
blew it.
Yeah.
You blew it.
Yeah, for minimal amount of effort and really no time added. Actually, I find usually that last table that comes in is never the table that's going to keep you there. The table that's
Nope.
going to keep you there is the table that you sat an hour and a half earlier.
Yeah.
It's just, it is what it is. There's always going to be somebody in the building already. So fuck it. If you're getting somebody at the very end, wait on them. You're going to get an extra $25. What the
Yep.
fuck? Actually, it's weird that we brought this up. I have a regular who comes in and he's fucking awesome. He's my favorite dude. He's just I have had regulars in the past that I've liked, and this guy I will lay down in traffic for. Like he's Anthony like adjacent to me. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so he comes in and he just drops bombs every time he comes in. And he comes in late. He comes in at like 9:15, 9:30. We close at 10. And a normal person would be annoyed, and the rest of the serving staff who have to wait for me with this guy are annoyed. But it's like, bro, the guy comes in, he's polite, he's cool, he's respectful, he works in the business too. He owns another restaurant in that area of Providence. So like we have their staff comes in and shit. This guy is literally responsible for paying for my electric bill every month.
Yeah.
And if I wanted to be a dick when he first came in, because he does come in later, I would have lost him forever. And that's the difference between, I like, that's just it. Why are you here? If you're not here to serve on people and like to fucking make as much money as you can, what the fuck are you doing then?
Yeah.
Like, to me, it's just insanity to throw, to throw like people aside like that.
I mean, that brings me to like another little piece of this as well, right? Like, you're kind of saying, like, you guys are sharing stuff. They're annoyed that you're making them more money,
Yeah.
essentially. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? For nothing. Like, just sit there and do the rest of the side work.
Substantially more money. Like, I'm
And-
talking 100% every time.
Yeah. And then, where was I going with that? So in the other situation that I'm talking about that I witnessed, right? Like those two guys are sharing tips, obviously, right? And that girl made the decision for that guy that he's all done making money for the night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's like another strike to me on like an individual account. Like, you know what I mean? If somebody did that when I was working with them, I would be so mad.
Yeah. I mean, it's just,
I'd be so mad. I'd be like, yo, like, what are you doing right now?
yeah.
Like, but they are both obviously checked out, and that's unfortunate because this place just reopened and it seems like their two anchor bar staff positions are just uninterested and could care less about the perception of the place.
Yeah. Well, that and also, how are you checked out already when you've been open for a fucking month? Like, you know,
Yeah.
I've had to work years to earn my checked outedness.
the place has 2 other restaurants.
Yeah.
So I think maybe they just
Swap, like interchange them.
yeah, like they, those people work a couple shifts over there and they work a couple shifts over there, and so
I mean, whatever, man. I've been checked out. I fucking hate the business, but you still do it. Why? Because I have bills to pay.
Yeah,
and
but it's
nobody gives a shit whether or not I'm able to do it or not.
yeah.
You know?
The point that I'm trying to make though too is like if you're behind the bar or your restaurant works as like a general pooling situation, it's like you're not just now responsible for you, you're responsible for everybody.
Yeah.
And so it's like, who are you to cut the cash flow if you haven't talked to everybody else about it first?
Yeah.
That's all I'm trying to say with that. Like, if you got that kind of general attitude, you got to check that shit, or like your coworkers are going to be trying to scheme on you and get you the hell out of there.
Yeah. Or you don't work every night of the week. So what happens when that regular whatever comes in on a different night at 9:30, 9:45, and the next guy is a fucking dickhead to him?
And now
He's not coming back on your shifts because some other fucking dickhead was an asshole to him,
And to compound that, I bet you that would be the night where he decided to bring somebody new in and expose them to the great place that he's been going to. And then he
Exactly.
sits down and gets his head ripped off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
By some fucking dildo who wants to get home 20 minutes earlier so that way he can watch some fucking Netflix documentary and
Yeah.
smoke fucking weed. Like, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, like I don't understand the rush to get out. It's not like you're gonna go home and like go to sleep right away.
Yeah,
You're gonna be all wound up, like there's nothing saving you from the sleep deprivation of participating in the real world
Yeah,
after you get out of the restaurant, you know? So
yeah, not to mention I've yet to meet like an impressive individual in the restaurant business. Like y'all ain't doing shit. That's why you're in the restaurant business. Nobody's going home and studying for the bar. Go fuck yourself. Like what are you doing with your life? You can't spend an extra 18 minutes serving this motherfucker
Yeah.
food, you know?
yeah, I think I only know
Yeah.
I only know two people that I know, one that became a lawyer and one that became like a doctor.
Yeah.
And both of those guys were hard workers and never tried to get out early.
Yeah, well,
You know,
that's
so-
just it. It's a mentality, you know.
Yeah.
Anybody who's trying to get out early, you're a lazy piece of shit, and that's going to, cascade into the rest of your life, pal. Like
Yeah.
whatever you're doing ain't shit. You know what? You want to go home and get high and watch Fury Road for the 3,000th time? Go fuck yourself. Sit there and just feed the guy food and give him a fucking drink. You know.
You lost me at Fury Road. It was sounding pretty good.
I love Fury Road,
going
but
home
I'm
to
just
get
saying,
high.
like-
I don't even know what that movie is.
You've never seen Fury Road?
No.
Dude, that was the well, they just came out with another Mad Max, but that was the Mad Max before that one.
Oh, I don't even think I've seen the original Mad Max. There's so much that
What
I've
the
missed, bro.
fuck is wrong with you?
What the fuck?
How have you not seen Mad Max? Any of them?
I told you, bro. I was watching Commando on repeat like a motherfucker.
God, dude, that VHS must have gotten some work.
You know, I don't know if
yeah,
we, if
man,
we
you have
brought-
so much homework to do. Road Warrior, great movie.
Yes.
Beyond Thunderdome, not as good, but still good. Fucking Fury Road was probably the best action movie to come out in the 2000s, period. And I don't know, the new one, I guess, flopped, but I think that's because nobody goes to the fucking movies anymore. But it looks good. The new one's got like fucking Chris Hemsworth and shit in it. And I don't know, the chick from the Queen's Gambit. Did you watch that show?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the main chess girl or whatever. She's in it.
The Queen.
I don't know, man. But yeah, it looked fucking good. And Fury Road, though, is a straight, like, masterpiece. That movie's fucking awesome.
I was trying to find the spot where we had like the movies that we talked about, and I was just gonna update it on the fly as like my homework.
Yeah.
But it just brought me to this part of the Pez dispenser hack and how we have
Oh.
still yet to try this before.
Yeah,
We got to check it out.
yeah.
I just saw somebody post something. They're at a restaurant somewhere in Providence, and like their little shtick is that they have this display of like old Pez's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My grandfather used to have, like, an entire collection of Pez dispensers.
Damn, dude.
The Nazi. He was like I don't know, he was like autistic about it though. He had like all of
Dude,
them like arranged in color and like
there's
what they were.
There's no
yeah.
way that it doesn't work then.
Yeah.
If like an autistic Nazi loved the Pez that much,
Yeah.
there's no way that it doesn't load like a Glock.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no
They're
fucking
very
way.
industrious people.
Yo, you know what else I just saw? I saw that dude Jeffrey Asmus. He's got this joke. He's like that, like kind of like or Midwest conservative guy. It's like you die on my grandfather's farm in a
that
day.
guy. Yeah, he's funny.
And he makes a joke. He goes. Did you know that Germany is like the number 2 supplier of weapons to Israel right now?
Yeah.
And he's like, it's kind of crazy. He's like, sorry about that genocide, but we'll show you how to do
your
one
own.
instead.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, what a great.
There's all sorts of like weird Germany things like when it comes to the Nazis and shit. Like the company that used to make the gas chambers is
Holy shit.
yeah, we're about to get dark here. Was this company called Siemens, and they're like different spelling, but it's they're like a medical company now. Like they like make like fucking whatever MRI machines and shit and all sorts of shit. They have like they're a multi.
I've seen them in my trips
Yeah.
to the hospital.
Well, they like acquired Bayer, which is BEHR,
Yeah.
which was the company that made the gas. So it's
Oh.
like, watch out, guys. Germany's planning something. You know. Yeah. There's a
I think isn't Volkswagen somehow?
yeah. That was
associated with that
Hitler's.
too?
That was Hitler's car company. Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah. All these companies still exist and shit.
That's what my.
All right, I gotta say, we gotta stop talking about Nazis on this show.
Why? I'm about to get even more pro.
Oh no.
No, I'm just kidding. My brother has been deep into like the genealogy of our family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the Ancestry.com
Yeah,
shit.
so he's got us back to France. And
Okay.
from France, he's got us like now we're back before the modern borders that we know are established.
Yeah.
Right? And so he's like he hits me up and he goes, "Yo, I got some exciting news. I found this, this link to our past and stuff like that." And he like fills me in. He goes, "Before France, we were in Germany."
Yeah.
I go, what the fuck, dude? I've been like hating on these goddamn Nazis my whole life. I've been watching like Band of Brothers, like as like the
As you should.
live,
They're the bad guys.
As like no, but now I'm the bad guy. Like
Yeah.
I've been. It's like even more of it. It's like, dude, you knew you were Cobra all along.
Yeah.
you knew. Like you were watching Band of Brothers as if it was like live action GI Joe, rooting for the good guys, and then all of a sudden your brother's like,
Cobra.
you're the bad guy. Cobra. So yeah, you know, in the words of our boy Shane, looking pretty sharp.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't.
Well, how about the other thing we talked about with your love of the Burger King? If the Burger King took his mask off, he's just smiling.
Yeah.
Herman Merman or whatever the guy's name is.
His name is Herman Goering. You fucking unhistorical
you
fuck.
respect the guy that my grandfather helped assassinate.
He's not the fucking fat kid from Bad Santa. You know? Although that would be funnier. Yeah. I don't know. With all the genealogy shit and whatever, I went down that rabbit hole briefly because like my family's weird. I have like my father's family are all like weirdos. Like I didn't have much of a relationship with my dad, but like his family were all like these weird gypsy, like northern New York Irish people, like talking like piker camp kind of shit. So like it was hard to track any of them down. Like kind of thing where like I didn't know my grandmother died until like 12 years after she died, kind of thing. Like they're just weird people.
Cue Jason Statham being like, it's not like they got social security numbers.
Exactly. But yeah, so as I'm like trying to like kind of like meander through and like, you know, figure out like my grandmother came from whatever, like fucking, I think she was Hungarian and Dutch or something. I don't know. But like all that shit like made me realize is I have no connection with this, like when you're like, oh, I'm the bad guy. It's like, no, you're not. We're not fucking German. We're not fucking Irish. We're not fucking Italian. We don't know fucking anything about these cultures. We live in America. We are as American as you can get. We don't know shit about anyone else. We eat like we're fat bastards, and we're gonna just work ourselves to death. That's the American way,
Bro,
and we're all in debt. You know,
Hulk Hogan ripping his
Yeah, exactly.
fucking shirt
I
off in the
am
eye
a
of the tiger.
real
Nice.
American. No, but fucking yeah, I hate people who take their cultural like history and make it their identity. You know, like Irish people on fucking St. Patty's Day being like, I'm 100% Irish. And it's like, no, you're not. You're just drunk and fat and stupid.
Yeah.
Like, sorry. Oh my God. I could like write a goddamn book about how much I fucking hate St. Patty's Day as a bartender.
I love how you're like hating on like the white perspective of this, because like in my youth in Florida, all you see is like people like of like island descent, and they have like the flag around their license plate.
Yeah.
And if you're with Jim or something like that riding around in the car, you get so fired up. These people that got their flags, they're in America now. They're in America. What are they doing with these flags? And then like I love that.
Those
like,
people though, at least like were first generation. Like if you were born,
they are
Yeah.
the real American.
Yeah.
They fucking came here and conquered some fucking natives and fucking, you know.
that too.
Yeah. No. I'm saying like the modern people from like Haiti, from Jamaica, whatever.
Yeah.
Like you're fucking more American than we are.
Yeah. Oh,
We're
that's true.
both-
Yeah, you came in
We're
here.
the
Yeah.
new Native Americans, and you motherfuckers are coming here from offshore saying, I'm here now.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
Good for them.
There might be an eclipse that you have to deal with.
Yeah.
I might know witchcraft.
All right. Anyway.
You know about that? You know
No,
about how
what's
who's the guy that came over here with the Nina and the Pinta and the Santa Maria?
Columbus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucking retard. He knew about astrology or astronomy, whichever one, enough
Yeah.
to know that there was an eclipse coming. And somehow he was able to communicate with the natives, like, if you don't give me what I want, I'm going to take the sun away.
Yeah. Well,
And then it happened, and they were like, oh fuck,
shit.
like, you can have whatever you want, dude. You don't know about the three sisters growing green beans up corn stalks? I'll
Yeah.
tell you everything. Bury a fish in the mud.
well,
But to me, I feel like that story's bullshit.
what, the Columbus one that
Yeah.
you just told me?
Yeah, like that.
The way you're telling me it for.
Well, because it's like an urban legend.
Oh, okay. All right.
How have you not heard it?
I don't know. I guess I've never heard
Bro, can I get way ADHD and go way off the rails right now?
this. All right, go for it.
We both graduated in 02.
Yeah.
We're the same age, right?
Yeah.
Did you ever have to watch a movie about a little French boy losing his balloon?
Yeah, the red balloon. Yeah.
Bro. This is legendary.
Yeah.
If this tape is not running, I'm going to fucking kill myself because I've asked so many people about this, and I have to like go through the motions of YouTubing this and be like, you didn't have to watch this in like the third grade.
Yeah.
And just like the only English in the thing is just the kid going, balloon.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I
Bro.
remember that movie. Yeah.
Bro. bro. Oh,
We did it.
it's not.
We touched tips, guys.
The whole time I thought I was participating in like the movie about Sinbad being a genie, and
Yeah,
it's
no,
real.
that's a thing.
It's
I
real.
remember that movie. Yeah, it's like
No.
a fucking what?
Shaq is a genie.
No, I'm saying the balloon
The
movie's
balloon,
real.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, Shaq wasn't a genie. What the
Shaq
fuck
was fucking Kazam or some shit. But there's some. What do you call that shit when like people say like the time
The
warp
Mandela
happened?
effect. Yeah.
The Berenstein or
Yeah.
the
Bernstein Bears.
Yeah.
Berenstein Bears. Which one is it actually?
Yo, I only know about Berenstein. I don't remember no Bernstein.
Bernstein Bears. Who the,
I
what
think when
the
you're
fuck
in
is a
the when
Berenstein?
you're in the third grade, you think you understand cursive enough to fucking retroactively Mandela affect yourself. Like
Yeah.
I don't fucking know because the shit is written in cursive,
Yeah.
right? I believe it is.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's just like like how do you say the word crayon? Like I draw with crayons.
I feel like you said it two different ways. That like first
No.
time you said crayon.
Well, because I wasn't sure how
Crayon.
I didn't want to like lead you, but I say crayons. They're crayons.
I don't say that. Shit.
Crayola crayons.
Yeah, I say
Yeah.
it's fucking crayon, like
Yeah.
Oregon. Like you say Oregon and crayon,
I don't know.
crayon, Oregon,
I say Oregon. Yeah.
or a fucking gone,
Yeah.
like origami. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where you got that crayon shit from. That's from like Connecticut.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Fucking crayons, man. They're fucking crayons. You fucking color with crayons.
I think the more you say it, the more you're coming over to the crayon side. You're like, your brain's like,
No.
oh.
Yeah, my brain's like,
Bro,
you're wrong. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying that's
Yeah.
how I say it.
You want to
I don't
know a crazy thing about your brain, right? I work at a place where there's automated sidewalks,
Yeah.
right? And I had to walk on one the other day where it wasn't moving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm walking like a psychopath on these things. Like that's one of the way I get myself ready in the morning.
Yeah,
Like I'll
get
be,
your adrenaline rush.
I'll be like sleepy and I'll see like one person in the distance and I'm like, I'm gonna catch him. And I just fucking start walking as fast as I can, like the T-1000.
Yeah.
So I'm flying down these things, right? And I've gotten so good where like I don't have to pause. Like I can just in
You
stride.
continuously
just-
move.
Yeah. And so I'm walking on these things yesterday. They're down for cleaning or whatever the fuck the reason is, and they're not moving. And as I'm coming off the thing, I'm like I couldn't handle it. Like
Yeah.
I was walking fine on them the whole time, but the transition, it's like my brain was like, all right, I know,
Yeah.
I know, and then it's like I fucking don't know anymore, dude.
Yeah. You're not flying, man.
I don't
You're not
know.
flying.
Yeah, so that was weird. Of like that, like the genealogy stuff and like the family stuff, like the loss that I just incurred in my family has made me want to like get everybody closer and together and to make like a family reunion
That'll
thing.
fade.
And that'll fade.
Yeah, that desire will go
But
away, I promise.
It's just
Yeah.
it's just crazy to see like how like because I really did start like writing it down. Like, all right, who do I gotta kind of get into like a Facebook group or a
Yeah.
email chain or something? You know what I mean? And I was like, this is crazy how like this one infestation of immigrants has like now gotten everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, it's just humanity is a mess.
Yeah. We're
just throwing plastic in the Tessier Bassett line all the way from pre-Germany, just throwing plastic in the ocean all
There you go.
across America.
yeah, just creating an island of garbage in the Pacific.
Yep.
You know? That's all we do.
Yo, how
Anyway.
about that dude? That's a dude that made his dreams come true.
Who?
The guy, there's like this kid that like it's called like the Ocean something, the cleanup mission.
Oh yeah.
And he got all this money donated. The first thing was like a giant flop, and he just never gave up. And now the thing's like kicking ass.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
Oh.
doing really well.
Good for him.
Yeah, I think they have found some way to like repurpose like the plastic that they're pulling out. Like I don't know if you saw.
Probably turned into dildos. No?
No, I think they turned it into like these like modern day Legos that you can build like modular housing with, and they're using it to transform the third world into a livable area. But
So literally just encasing them in trash.
the nice,
Yeah.
nice, dude, nice. It's better than fucking dildos
I don't know. I'd take a house made of dildos.
of melted down dildos, or like they're just like.
Just like sticking out in all orbs.
Do you know what the concept of an Earth ship is?
No.
No, it's like these people that they build like their house into like the side of a hill, and they use like recycled materials and like
So they're fucking hobbits.
solar panels, kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
they've given up on society and they're getting out of here, and they're going to be more self-reliant upon each other. But they like fill tires full of dirt, and they use that to like make their walls, and then they like use empty glass bottles and mortar to make this thing, and that turns into like a greenhouse effect. But that just led me to like the dildo wall.
Yeah.
Like that's what you're going for.
Yeah, you know, we can make a dildo
Or you
wall.
could
It's a greenhouse
somehow
effect.
build a dildo inside a bottle, like a tiny ship, and then make your wall out of that.
Yeah, I
Or
mean,
you're
a guy can have dreams,
in
can
the desert home with no Wi-Fi.
he? Yeah, pretty much.
Moving on to Dave and Buster's betting system. Have you seen that?
No.
Like you can now open up like a gambling account for Dave and
Oh,
Buster's
my
and
God.
me, and you can like bet on like skee ball.
Oh, really?
Or like
Oh, okay, that might be cool actually. Yeah.
What do you call the hockey? I get into that.
Yeah, the air hockey.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'd
No,
be-
so I thought you were saying it was like a fucking Rhode Island sports book, like out of Dave and Buster's. It's like, God damn it, are our kids safe from anywhere?
Yo,
Yeah.
I don't know if they've done a remodel recently,
Yeah.
but low key, Dave and Buster's is like a fire joint to go if they have like multiple sports on at once. Like
Yeah.
that time of the year where it's like NFL playoffs and like baseball
Yeah.
is all going on at once. Like they have like a video wall, and most of the time they have the sound on,
Yeah.
and like they'll talk. It's almost like they have like a sound DJ. Like they'll toggle back and forth between
Games.
the games that's currently on, you
Yeah.
know, like, so I don't know, man. Shout out to them. Unless you smoke cigarettes, then you have to like go like all
Yeah,
the
that's
way
gotta be a
down,
fucking
down the
hike.
stairs.
Yeah.
That's always been like everybody's complaint about that.
Just smoke butts wherever you want. Fuck them. What are they gonna
Yo,
do?
I fucking went into the bathroom at the airport the other day,
Yeah.
and I smelled cigarettes, and I was so proud.
Yeah.
Like that's the first
Do
time
they-
it's happened to me.
Do they not have a smoking section in the?
Nah,
No, they
you
don't.
have to go
yeah.
like back out through security.
Yeah.
So
Well, I know
which-
like some airports do, but I think they're all down south now.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you like
Or actually, maybe that's not even a thing now that I think about it. I can't remember the last time I actually was on an airplane, like, or in an airport where like there was a smoking.
there's no way that North Carolina airports don't have a smoking
Well, I was
section.
gonna say, I think it was
Definitely,
Atlanta.
for
Was
sure,
the last
like-
one I remember going through and being like, "Oh, weird, fucking smoking section."
Yeah, I don't know, but I smelt that in there, and I was like, you know, like the meme that they like zoom in on like the Al Borland looking dude in the woods, and he's like,
Yeah.
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yes,
That's
yes.
that's fucking Grizzly Adams. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
He reminds me of the guy. How about this? Another childhood memory from New England. Did you ever go to like some mountain theme park thing where like you go on a train ride and this crazy man in the woods, like there's like a wild man in the woods that like comes after you?
I think
It's in,
I
like,
think you
New
were
Hampshire.
hunted for sport.
Nah, it's in like New Hampshire or something like that.
Yeah.
No, it's like it's like an amusement park attraction kind of thing. You know?
Oh,
what
is that
I mean?
like Santa's Land or Santa Storyland
I don't
or
know.
whatever?
Somebody leave
Yeah.
us a comment and help us out with the logarithm and
Yeah.
tell us about where that
fucking was.
where that is.
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure you were just chased by a weird mountain man and molested, probably.
Nah.
No. Always comes back to molestation.
I feel like I know. What the fuck, dude?
Well, you know, I'm repressing some shit, you know. I got to go through it.
One type of child bullying to another. How about the game? You play the game in the restaurant, either the circle game below the belt,
Yeah.
or the game of like knocking stuff
Shit
out of
their
people's
hands.
hands. Like,
Or the untying of the apron kind of thing. Places
or
you had
putting
apron.
ice in people's apron
Yeah.
when they're not looking. Like that's another good one.
Yeah.
But I felt like there's no truer evaluation of somebody's character of if they like to like joke around and have a good time or not than the knocking stuff out of people's hands game. Like if
Oh yeah, if you do it
There-
to somebody who isn't hearing it, like yeah.
there are some
there's an
people
awkward moment.
who are
Yeah.
not fucking having
Yeah.
it, dude. Like
Uh,
they are not having it. And it is like it's half hilarious when it happens and half like super scary because you're like, oh, now I've crossed the line.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have too much fun at work and it's gonna get me fired.
yeah.
But yeah, there's been a few people that I've done that to, and just the rage that ensues, I've been like, wow. Like, you're probably not even cool at all. Like,
Yeah.
you didn't find any, like, if somebody does that to me, I'm fucking laughing.
Yeah.
Dude. Like, I think it's so funny.
Or at the very least, I'm just being like, oh,
Yeah,
you
like,
fuck.
Yo, what about another? You ever fill up like the mixing tin with ice and then put it like on like the rubber mat?
Yeah.
So then when the bartender picks up the mixing tin, just fucking ice goes everywhere.
No, but I want to try that on Diane. Have you done the cocktail move?
I don't know. I've
So
never seen Cocktail in its entirety
God
either.
damn.
Dude. Yeah, we
All
gotta
right.
make a list of things. You know what's crazy? My dad used to break my balls all the time. So I'd be like, "You never seen this movie?"
Yeah.
And now you're being,
doing it. Yeah, I'm doing
Yeah.
it to you.
How the
No, well, cocktails. Like, have you ever work at a spot where like there's you have the cash register, it opens up, but then there's like something underneath it, that, you know, like whether it be like a cabin or something that the other person has to go under and like get shit out of, kind of thing. or like, a glassware, whatever. But like, what you do is you wait till the person like is bent down trying to get something below the cash register. You hit no sale, and the fucking drawer just hits them right in the
man.
face. That's the way to go.
What about you? Want to hear about another one that I recently got remembered about?
Yeah.
Re-remembered.
Remember?
I think he misremembered
Yeah.
that.
You Roger Clemens in
Yeah.
this?
So, whatever. There's probably like 10 of us that are all like a solid group of friends that end up like working at this restaurant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this is like, I get promoted to be a bartender shortly after. So now I'm like running service bar, making strong ass drinks for all my friends. Like we got this little crew running, And so these guys, I'm getting all the tea throughout the course of the night on the service bar, right? So my two other boys are like, yo, Zach's got this weird table. He's telling us I just fucking said his name. He don't fucking care. Nobody's gonna know. Zach's so common. So they're like, oh, Zach's got this table. It's like this chick's being fucking weird and stuff. So the story is, right, that the girl's like, she's not acknowledging Zach at all.
Yeah.
But she's talking to her man at the table. This is just a two-top, right? And she's saying things like, he'd be nice, right? Like maybe we should bring him in and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And saying all these things. So they leave the number, and he's like, yo, what do I do? And we're all like, dude, you gotta fucking
call that fucking number.
dude. You gotta fucking go. So it ends up that this is like a couple that like they're putting their business out there on the internet, you know, and this is like 2003, 2004, something in that time frame. So this is like early on, like, you know what I mean?
They're at the dawn of this shit.
Yeah. And so they make this kid's name up. It's actually like he lived in a place called Jefferson Commons. And so they gave him like the last name of Jefferson. I won't say the first name, so we won't make it that easy to find him. But that's his fucking porno name. And so he fucking shows up, he knocks on the door, and he said he walked in and he was like, so what happens now? And literally they laid out to him like all these different options that were willing. They're like, basically, I want you to fuck my wife on camera. We can either pay you to use your face, or you can like not have your face involved and just be what I don't know. I don't think he got paid for it. I think it was like you can fuck her for free with no face, or if you want to use your face, we'll pay you.
Yeah.
Or some shit like that. And so he ended up doing it. And it's just like a legendary story. And like this kid, I've never seen anybody else have as much fun on ecstasy as this kid before. Like just the stuff that I would see him do, like he'd be like dancing with glow sticks in front of a mirror.
Oh yeah,
just himself. You know what I mean? Just fucking smiling. And I was like, yo, I wish this shit would still, because I had like a few, maybe like my first 5 times of having like a good time. You know what I mean? And then like anything, I don't know, the depression took over and I just wasn't having fun, and I would see this kid, I'd be like, yo, he is fucking living his life. And I would always think about Andy fucking had this crazy situation happen to him.
Yeah, that's a fucking
like,
wild story.
Yeah, and I think another caveat of it, please, I think my boy Ryan watches this, but did the chick, I think the chick whipped her tits out at the table as like an enticement, like, you know what I mean? And, I mean, this is in Florida. It was on the causeway on the way out to the beach. You know what I mean? Like,
so anything fucking goes.
It was a wild place. It was a wild place. We like the manager that worked there. He fucking ran a tight ship. But as far as drugs went, you could fucking do like
not so tight,
bro. Like we had plates of coke in the fucking walk-in. You know what I mean?
This sounds like a real tight ship.
Yeah, but you had to be on your business. You know what I mean? Like. One time my roommate was like obviously coked out of his mind working out on the patio, and the manager was like, you gotta go home, you're gonna die. You know what I mean? He's like, on the hot Florida
You've taken it too far.
He's like, you're done. He's like, you're supposed to work a double. He's like, just fucking, you're done at 3. He's like, drink some fucking water and get the fuck out of here. And like as time went by, we would get closer and closer to this guy. Bro, I can't believe that this is gonna fucking flow so well together. So we get closer and closer with this guy. We're chilling with him. And it would always turn into like, he'd try to teach us like these Navy SEAL moves.
Okay.
He'd get like a broom out and we'd be like, oh, it's coming. He's going to show us like some self-defense. You know what I mean? And somebody would have to be like the dummy. Like somebody would have to be the crash test dummy.
Yeah.
And it'd always be like, you're sitting there like way too fucked up at the end of the night. Now,
show me.
Brian's now somebody's got to volunteer to be like the crash test dummy for Brian's ninja moves. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, this dude should be a Navy SEAL. So whatever, like, time splits. This is before everybody has like, maybe we had MySpace, like people aren't like on social media like they are now, right?
Yeah.
So it took me a while to get on social media. So I finally get on social media and I start finding all these people, right? I find this guy. It turns out he gets like one of those passes to join the military late in his life.
Yeah.
And now he's doing like special forces shit.
Oh, cool.
So a few years ago, I kind of had this thing like where I wasn't embracing the 12 steps, but I was letting people know, hey, I'm sorry I let you down as that person. Like, you made a difference in my life. Thank you for that, And
Yeah.
I reached out to him to tell him that, because he really was kind of like a father. Even though he let us do all these drugs and shit, he really was kind of like a solid like father figure to me. Well, I had none of that, like as an unsupervised ruffian out there, And I reached out to him. I go, hey, man, I just want to let you know I appreciate you. I know. And at the end of my journey at this restaurant, I got blackout drunk and pissed all over the bathroom. So, like, that's the last thing he ever saw of me. It was, like, the disrespect of me pissing all over his bathroom.
Yeah.
I didn't mean it like that. I was just fucking wasted. You know what I mean? He had to have taken it like that, though, and thought about doing some Navy SEAL shit to me. So, whatever. I reached out to him. I had the feelings of, I'm sorry I left things off like that.
Yeah.
And so now I see what he's up to, being in the special forces or whatever the fuck he's up to. And he goes, things are great. I appreciate you. I'm just doing the Lord's work.
Yeah.
I go, bro, if killing terrorists is the fucking Lord's work, and like that's how you guys refer to it, that's the greatest thing ever.
It's
and
the,
I
it's
wish
the fucking Crusades,
that
man,
I had
all over again.
pursued my dreams of being a G.I. Joe as a child.
Yeah.
Where somebody reaches out to you and they're like, thank you, I appreciate you. I'm just doing the Lord's work.
I'm just
That's amazing.
shooting people in the face.
2 to the face, 1 to the chest, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
What about you ever see the dudes like out there? They get the car on like 2 wheels.
Car on 2 wheels?
Yeah, they're like
Oh.
doing like crazy desert driving. They'll have like a bunch of guys.
Oh, they like tilt it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they tilt it and they're like driving all wild.
Yeah.
They don't care. They're on
Yeah,
the
no.
desert, thousands of miles away from a
Yeah.
hospital. Like, you better know how to pilot a fucking flying carpet to get your ass back to safety if you're going to be engaging in that kind of behavior.
Yeah. Just a touch racist on that one.
Nah. I love Aladdin.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's a solid movie.
Aladdin makes me think of this other meme that I saw about the Titanic. And it's like, it just goes to show you how much of a scumbag Rose is. She lived a full life, got married, had kids, and she's on her deathbed thinking about some homeless guy she fucked on a boat 70 years ago.
Yeah, well, and she fucking killed that dude, man. He
Yeah.
couldn't fit on that goddamn door.
Yeah.
Once
Yeah,
again,
and
it's just the aristocracy, man.
What type of like 1920s man isn't like, bitch,
Yeah.
get off of that door
Get
and
off
drown.
the boat.
Yeah. Go make me some sandwiches at the bottom
Yeah.
of the ocean. I'm getting on this door.
I'm more important than you.
What about, you ever hear the story about the cook from the Titanic? He just drank all of the liquor and he lived because he put himself into like this state of like,
He like pickled himself.
yeah, like
He just floated to the surface like a fucking turd.
no, like
Yeah.
he just didn't, the effects of hypothermia didn't take in
Yeah.
as fast, maybe because his blood was
Thin. Yeah.
alcohol or whatever the case was, but he didn't fucking die like everybody else just because he got wasted.
Well, I guess he had the last laugh on that one. You know,
Can you imagine? There's no way that the chef on the Titanic isn't fucking miserable.
isn't miserable.
Isn't.
Oh yeah.
And he's like wakes up and he's like still alive. He's
Yeah.
like, God damn it.
It's probably the only
I gotta
motherfucker on
go
that
to
boat.
work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I was gonna say probably the only motherfucker on that boat that wanted to die.
Yeah. He's like, thank God.
Speaking of wanting to die, did you hear about this fucking golfer, the Grayson Murray guy?
Yeah.
The fuck is that about? Dude just fucking like left the fucking Charles Schwab tournament and then just like killed himself. If you can't be happy playing golf for a living, like what hope is there for any of us?
Yeah. I mean, it's clearly mental illness.
Yeah, I mean, all right, so you're gonna make me feel like an asshole now?
No.
I got mental illness in my family. Just saying, if I was a
just-
professional golfer, it would help a lot.
Well,
you
I don't
know?
know. I feel like the Venn diagram of being a fucking selfish, self-absorbed, the only thing that matters is how you're feeling goes right into being like a professional golfer.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I get like, dude, I struggle with my own shit. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about stuff like that. But like, what stops me from acting on anything is like the ripple effect that I know that it would have on my friends and family.
Yeah.
And I just think that you're a real selfish, self-absorbed kind of dirtbag if you do that.
And also,
So
what would
it's
happen to
like-
all these Jays? You know,
My wife would probably sell them for minimal return
Yeah.
at a yard sale.
she'd probably get like $12 for each pair.
You know what would happen? Hopefully, you know what I hope would happen? That she would just find some young, attractive pool boy with the same shoe size and be like, you're him now.
Yeah. So like her own like version of like a white trash Cinderella. Like
She can-
just
no,
wandering
she
the
could
countryside with a pair of Jays, being like, "Do you fit in these?"
Nice. That's what a poetic tapestry you just
Yeah.
weaved.
You know, just saying.
I was just thinking
that's
you
the
could just
second
be,
chapter of your wife's life.
more like my English teacher.
No, but I don't know, man. Yeah, I get the whole like mental illness part of it, but I guess just depressing wise, it's like fuck, who hasn't thought about killing himself at one point in time or another? And I'm sitting here now like, well, Jesus Christ, if he can't even make it work, what the hell are we all gonna do?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, there's a ton of people that you would think, like that designer Kate Spade.
Yeah.
Why would you? You're set. You're set for life. You can do whatever you want to do. You just can't escape it for whatever reason. It's sad.
I made my wife really nervous when we were shopping for life insurance policies because I did ask the question. Because you got to know.
Yeah.
I just wanted all the dots, I's dotted and T's crossed. But I was like, yeah, what happens if I kill myself? Little known fact: apparently, life insurance still pays out on suicides. You just have to have taken out the policy. I think it was either 2 years, like in the future or whatever. So if you take out a policy today, you can kill yourself in 2 years and collect on it.
700 something days.
Yeah, something like that.
Count
Yeah,
it down.
that's all you got to do, right?
That is something that I
Just
want.
give yourself a little advent calendar.
Have you ever heard of this thing? It's like, I think it's a Japanese thing if I'm not mistaken, but it's kind of like it's a countdown calendar for like your own life.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically it's like a calendar like that takes up a wall.
Yeah.
And it has like, let's say you're just gonna ballpark and say you're gonna die around 80, but it literally like you start marking days off, and it's like supposed to be more motivating and make you like appreciate life on the daily every more.
Yeah.
You have this like visual representation
Of
like,
just your life passing you by.
Like I feel like if I had that, I would mow my grass more.
Yeah.
Like I'd be like, oh fuck.
I showed up today and your grass was mowed, and I was like, bro was taking his fucking Valium today for sure.
I did have the Serengeti going in the backyard.
I got lost, like from my car to your fucking door.
And
I came out like a different person. It was like fucking Jumanji out there.
The first time I mowed my front grass, I didn't have any backup gas, and I ran out of gas. And like
Yeah.
the patch of grass that was closest to my neighbors was what I left for the end. So it looked like I mowed my whole grass.
Just to be
It
a
was like,
dickhead.
Fuck you guys, keep dealing with that.
Fuck you guys.
The last interaction I had with him, I had put one of those like big fly traps out
Yeah.
in my yard, and it caught a bunch of flies, and then I started stinking, right? So of course it was like the week that I threw that in the trash, and it fucking reeks.
Yeah.
And then he comes over, he's like, "Hey man, is there any way you can keep your trash cans on like the other side of your house?" And then he gave me like a bag of weed, and I was like, "Damn, bro,
That's
like."
pretty polite.
I was like, "Yeah, man, like, no worries. I'm not trying to ruin your day." And
Yeah.
like, I wasn't trying to be like, "Whoa, it's just this fucking fly tray." You know what I mean? All right, fine, fucking no more trash cans on this side.
Yeah. I love my neighbors because we don't fuck with each other at all.
I've still yet to smoke that weed.
Yeah.
It's in like the emergency weed stash.
Think it's laced with fentanyl, maybe? Maybe he's fucking with you?
I just looked at it and it wasn't as good as what I get from my boy, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm better. That's Pepsi.
Yeah.
That's that Pepsi.
That's that
weed.
Pepsi shit.
That's funny. I'm gonna start calling bad weed to some of that
Pepsi?
That Pepsi. That's just a little Pepsi.
Y'all got any sweet tea?
I feel like if you maybe Pepsi is like the sign that you're like you walk around with a can of Pepsi and you're like, I date black girls.
That's the choice of a new generation.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. See,
Yeah.
that's why you got to mess with them.
Yeah.
And also, Pepsi is the parent company of Mountain Dew. How do you, as a white, not embrace? Like,
we're going to be going off the rails in a hurry if we're going to be
seen-
referring to us as whites.
Wow. Wow. You know where I got that term from? People talking basketball, and they're
Yeah.
like, look at the Joker and Luka, and they're like, it's crazy that fat whites are dominating the NBA. So now
Yeah.
I just can't stop saying fat whites.
Fat whites?
Yeah.
All right.
They're like the rise of the fat white. It's doing good. You know who else is a fat white? That boxing guy, right? He's not in the best shape.
Who,
Tyson
Tyson Fury? Yeah,
He's kind of a fat white.
yeah. Fat whites still do okay in heavyweight boxing.
Yeah.
You know? It's like the last, you had like the Klitschko brothers, you had the fucking, yeah. So, I mean, they're still alive and well in that. Nobody watches boxing,
You know who
unfortunately,
else
anymore.
is kind of like a fat white that I remember from back in the day? Remember Tim Silva from UFC?
I was never a UFC guy.
No,
Yeah.
he was from Maine, so I always liked him. But he was
Yeah.
like this lumbering guy, and
Yeah.
I remember he had like some brutal like leg kick knockouts, but he always had kind of like a
little beer gut?
spare tire. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, how's this guy this fucking brutal of a human? He's like, nah, I'll be drinking Miller Lights like Andre the Giant.
Yeah, I always think of fat whites as baseball players, like David Wells.
Yeah.
Remember David Wells?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This is even like I was watching Roger Clemens being an asshole
Yeah.
on the mound today.
He's
and
that was like fat Roger
Yeah.
Clemens too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like latter day.
Yeah, especially
Houston Astro version of Roger Clemens.
I actually, you texted me before I finished the entire thing, and it made me stop watching it. And I remember thinking, "Fuck!" It was the worst time because it was him against Manny. I fucking loved Manny back in the day, and I was like, I didn't forget this even happened. Like,
yeah,
so now I got to. And I was watching it on Reels. Like, I'm never gonna find it again.
yeah,
Well, now that I said it enough, my phone's gonna be like, I got you.
yeah, yeah.
The CIA guy helped me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'll cue it up.
Yeah, we'll put that right at the top of your fucking algorithm.
We'll cue it up, Ryan.
Yeah.
We got you. We're the ones that got you to say all these terrible things on this podcast already today.
Exactly. Once we're done talking about molestation and Nazis, we'll get right to sending you Clemens and Manny Ramirez.
The Red Sox. A lot of stories about being hiding the diddlers away in the shadows of the organization.
Really?
Yeah.
Actually, on a side note, I have a buddy who he listens to the podcast too, but he used to work at maybe I would say the name. He used to work at a bar though in Boston, and all of those dudes used to come in, like Wakefield, Millar, like all of them, and he says like some of them are just straight pieces of shit.
I
Like,
bet, dude.
Yeah.
Like I remember in high school thinking that there was something about the stereotypical baseball player being like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And I used to vocalize that because I was like this fucking punk rock fucking douchebag. And that English teacher that I talked about, he was the baseball coach. And I remember thinking, like, why can't I get anything other than a C in this?
Yeah.
And I feel like he was always like, oh, you think baseball players are a piece of shit? Yeah, fucking
Fuck you.
That was a great essay that you wrote, but here's a C. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, no, he's like a devout like Boston sports fan too. So for him to like just straight up be like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
talking
they're
about
bags.
Tim Wakefield and him being like, fuck Tim Wakefield forever. I'm glad he had cancer. It's like Jesus Christ. Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought that about Wake.
Yeah, no, whatever Tim Wakefield did to this individual, like it had to have been some fucking dark shit. Like I still don't know the whole story. He should come on sometime actually. Maybe grace us with that. But yeah, he fucking hates like those 04 fucking Red Sox teams. So
I know a girl that carded Dustin Pedroia.
Really?
Yeah.
Motherfucker hasn't had hair since he was 17.
I don't know. She thought he fucking flipped out, bro. Like total little man, like
little man syndrome.
Like that guy that was in like the bagel shop that went viral.
Oh yeah,
He's,
yeah.
like, total like rampage like that. And then it was the same girl waited on Paul Pierce, and I don't know who else it was with. It was with one of those, it was the first Celtics team when they made the trades for
so Antoine Walker, like those era?
No. Like it was when they paired Pierce with Garnett and Ray Allen.
Oh, okay.
But it wasn't one of those two guys. It wasn't Rondo. It was some like other, him and a couple other guys from the team. Nah, but she said that they were so like they sat him down at this table and they're like they just pushed like everything. You know what I mean? Like they had like a round table that's kind of tucked into a corner, and by the time that they were done with it, the table was in like the middle of the room, and like nobody could get around anymore. And they were just, we don't know what to like. They just were like, just could not solve the situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they just let them do whatever they wanted to. And this is at like a lower level chain restaurant. Like, you would never think that this one waitress would have waited on these Boston icons at such a shitty lower level.
Huh. Well, I mean, we used to get like a lot of Pats players and shit just because of the fact that there was like nothing else in the area. Like they all live in none of them live in Boston. They all live in
this is in North Attleboro.
Yeah,
you know
that's what I'm saying.
Like, why are they fucking there? Like I
all live there. That's
on
why.
Vince Wilfork at this place. Like
him
and his family.
I waited on Will Fork too, actually.
Him and his family would drink like a case of bottled water.
Yeah,
like.
I waited on Vince Wilfork and Albert Hainsworth. Remember Albert Hainsworth?
Yeah.
Albert Hainsworth is the biggest fucking person I've ever seen in real life. Like he was.
He's
insane.
supposed to be a real asshole too.
Oh yeah, he was a total fucking dickhead.
I think he had like an ESPN piece on him being an asshole. It's like on he has like a huge like fast boat, and he's like, no, I'm fucking down to earth.
Well, he's like fucking 6'9" and like 300 pounds. Like he was, or probably bigger than that, like 340. He was fucking huge though.
Dude, nobody looks like they have come down with cancer like an ex-NFL player.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like,
Joe Thomas. Is that what you're talking about?
Anybody. Dude. Like, I see, like, Brewski on ESPN now. I'm like, this guy used to play football?
Well, yeah, those dudes had to fucking eat, like, 5,000 calories at every meal in order to keep up that size.
And I guess, do you just see them in the pads and you think that they're fucking huge? Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is, but...
Well, that's, so the guy I'm talking about is Joe Thomas, that the all-pro offensive tackle for the Browns or whatever. Like, he went from being a 299-pound offensive lineman to, like, in the matter of 3 months later, he's on ESPN at like 227. It's like, how the fuck did you even do that? And he was like, yeah, because I literally had to eat like my weight in food every day in order to fucking maintain that size.
And possibly be like injecting silverback testosterone
that's
into you
true.
or something. But
Yeah, exactly. Fucking stem cells, injecting them into the tip of your dick. Yeah.
like, nah, dude, like I'm drunk on horse blood right now.
That's why I appreciate the NFL. It's like their standards for like drug testing are so fucking ridiculous, you know? It's like they make it like almost impossible to fail one of those tests.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I feel like you should let those guys do that shit.
100%. I'm here for my own entertainment, man. I want to see somebody hit a ball 700 feet. That'd be fucking wild to watch.
Not even for, I feel like baseball, I feel like I'm like iffy on. Like whatever, like I'm not trying to be a purist or anything like that, but at least like if you're going to encourage these guys to get into like experience the trauma of a car accident on a daily basis while running into other men.
Yeah.
Like maybe you can take some stuff that helps you heal quicker.
Yeah,
you know?
that's
Or
fair.
Maybe you can take some stuff that makes your muscles into concrete for your own benefit. But
at the same time, though, like at least in baseball, though, there is no reason to not take steroids. Because I mean, in football, if you take steroids, you can end up being a 280-pound fucking defensive end who like runs like a 40 and 4.5. Like that guy hitting you will kill you. 100%. Baseball, it's like, fuck it, dude. I want to see if you can hit this ball over the parking lot.
Yeah.
Let me see some crazy shit. Not to mention, anyway, in baseball, fucking nerds have ruined that sport anyway. Like, all the records don't matter. Nobody gives a shit anymore. Like,
what's your take on that 51 debate?
Oh, like who's the best 51?
Yeah.
It's Randy Johnson.
Right.
Yeah.
What if you had do you split any hairs between pitchers and hitters where you have Ichiro versus Bernie Williams? Who are you taking in that death match?
I'm taking Ichiro.
Really?
Yeah. Ichiro over Bernie Williams. Bernie Williams is good, but Ichiro was like a fucking probably the best hitter of the 2000s.
Yeah.
Like pure hitter, you know?
Yeah, but maybe it's like a Red Sox fan bias. Like Bernie Williams has fucking ruined
Oh yeah. He was a Met killer too.
entire days of mine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where Ichiro, like, how often did the Mariners really come into play? Like, or how long did he play with the Yankees at the end of his career to really do anything against it? You know what I mean? So,
well, that's just kind of a victim of the teams he played
I guess
on.
like all time. If you're going to talk all time and take the emotion out of it, you got to go.
Ichiro.
Right?
Yeah. Ichiro was an animal.
What about this thing about incorporating the Negro League stats?
Oh, well,
I don't know much about it, but I think like
like Satchel Paige and shit. And,
I think a lot of like the all-time fat whites have now been replaced by not so fat whites.
Yeah, well,
like I think there's a Negro League hitter that's very prolific, and I think there's a few Negro League pitchers that are like as prolific as some of like.
Yeah, Satchel Paige pitched till he was like 50 years old. Like he's like pretty much universally revered as like one of the best pitchers to ever play.
I don't even know who that is. I've heard the name before, but I don't know if
he's like the famous Negro Leaguer, the guy that like everyone points to as like the guy who's like, if there was integration in the 40s and 50s, like he would have been the guy, you know?
It's so funny that like when you talk to like baseball historians, like they're like, well, Babe Ruth never like played a black guy until whenever. It's like, shouldn't on that effect, shouldn't the Negro League stats be like so much more?
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
No, dude, like this is only black dudes going against only black dudes. Like this is
like,
way harder.
Yeah, you multiply them by like a factor of 3 or something.
Yeah.
It's like if you hit like 80 home runs in the Negro Leagues, you actually hit like 300.
John Wayne is rolling over in his grave right now.
Yeah.
Like between that and like the non-fat whites taking over the country music industry, there's just mayhem.
Yeah.
There's mayhem.
Yeah.
There's like a Shabuzi dude. He's like a black dude singing country with a big belt buckle.
Yeah.
There's like this little young.
Why can't black people sing country music though?
I love it.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm not saying to you. I'm saying to like everybody else who would think that like they're fucking.
Elvis
they're
stole
literally
from him in
like
the first
70.
place.
Well, they're 70% of the fucking Southerners.
Yeah.
You know. You go to fucking Mississippi, man. You're gonna see more black people than white people. I promise you.
Dude, nothing makes me more happy than seeing like a closet racist just have their blood boiled.
Yeah.
I love it. I love
true.
watching it from like far away.
Yeah.
Like you just see like a white guy inside Popeyes that doesn't want to be there, and you're like, this is fucking great watching right now. I'm putting it on the list of things to talk about. He's just sitting there wishing there was a fucking Boston Market somewhere nearby.
Yeah. I think I forget who it was, but there was like a famous like civil rights activist or whatever, and he was talking about how like segregation like ended and he was finally able to eat at like the white people's restaurant or whatever, and he sat down to eat and he was just like,
This is fucking garbage.
He basically said like, if I had known that the food was so goddamn terrible at these places, I would have never worked so
Yeah.
hard to get a plate here, you know. But it is kind of funny how that, you know, how there is
I
that.
got sprayed by a fire hose
For
from
this?
fucking unseasoned
Yeah.
chicken. Fuck.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Going back to the Negro Leagues, I think there's something to be said about that. You know what, actually? I'm going to use this opportunity to fucking say this. Jackie Robinson gets all of the credit in the world, as he should. He got treated like complete shit like his entire career. But at the same time Jackie Robinson was going through that, there was a dude in the American League who, like, the Indians, now the Guardians or whatever, but Larry Doby. Larry Doby was like probably a better baseball player than Jackie Robinson, but isn't nearly as known because he like was like started 3 weeks after Jackie Robinson did. And he dealt with the same shit, dude. Right? He got completely like, you know, everywhere he went, he got the fuck boot out of him. Like everyone hated him. Like it was just like, it was a miserable existence. And he probably had a longer career. He was actually the first, I think he was the first black guy, African American to win the World Series. Like he was one of the best baseball players in all of baseball.
He played for the Indians?
He played for the Indians.
And you know that they renamed the Indians? They were called the Cleveland Spiders, and they renamed them the Indians because they were the first team to have a Native American play for them.
Well, they had
And
like
then
a bunch of them,
They had
right?
3 of them
Yeah.
before they renamed it to the Indians.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. That team had three Indians
and
a
the
black
second
guy.
and the second black
Yeah.
player, yeah, and probably, like I said, if you look at the stats, he probably was the better player than Jackie Robinson. Had the longer career. I think Jackie Robinson, by the time he got to the majors, only ended up playing like maybe like, I think it was pretty short lived. I think he only played like 7 more seasons, or like 6 seasons. Like he actually didn't play for all that long, because by the time he had started, he was already like 27,
Yeah.
28. But yeah, Larry Doby was so shout out to Larry Doby. He's dead now, but whatever.
Dude,
you know?
shout out to like all those pitchers back in the day too that would throw like complete games.
Oh yeah.
Like
But not just complete games. They would throw like 42 complete games a year.
Yeah.
You know, they would have like 400 fucking innings pitched every season. You know, that's fucking crazy.
baseball is crazy in general, just the grind. 162 games. How
Yeah,
do you
it's too many.
stay interested for that long?
You can't.
Like
Not anymore. Not in today's day and age.
saying like even as a player, how like you're not like enough already. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta really love cheating on your wife in like multiple different cities to like stay engaged as a professional baseball athlete.
Yeah, I forget how we even got down that hole, but I don't know. Do you have anything else to add to the conversation this week?
Just that I confused those two Jeffs. And also in my life, I've been known to confuse Patrick Swayze and some other. Is he the dead guy? And there's some
Yeah.
other guy that's still alive. Is Patrick Swayze in Escape from New York?
No, it's oh fuck.
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell.
Those are
Yeah.
the same people.
I
as
mean,
far
both awesome.
As far as my brain's concerned, those are the same people.
If you
Yeah.
white, you Ben Affleck.
Snake Plissken
Yeah.
goes on SNL and does those dances with Chris Farley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, Patrick Swayze is good in his own right.
Is he the one that's in the movie where he like finds that girl in the ocean and like steals her
Finds a girl in the that's Splash.
overboard or something?
Oh yeah, no, that's Kurt Russell.
Kurt
Yeah.
Russell.
Yeah.
What a movie though. Like I just found this lady who
Yeah,
needs
just
help,
washed on
and
shore and just like, now you're
she
mine.
is your new mom. Yeah.
That's a Harrison Butker special there. You know, you're mine now. Start doing some laundry.
Harrison Butker, she like wasn't acting right and he's the one that kicked her into the
Yeah.
ocean.
What a guy that guy
Well,
is.
it's better than the other kicker that's in trouble. I'd
What-
rather get Harrison Butker than McManus.
Oh, what did McManus do?
He's supposedly being sued by 2 flight attendants for inappropriately grinding himself against them on a flight back from London.
Yikes! What is up with these kickers, man?
I don't know.
You have the easiest fucking job in the world. You just shut up and do it. Like, what? Why are you making it harder for yourself?
I heard another comedian here being like, I don't understand why Harrison Butker's even talking. Like, the kicker is the wife of the NFL team.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, you're not even a professional football player
you're
if you're a
just the
kicker.
one cleaning
Yeah.
up the home when it's all
Exactly.
said and done. Like,
Yeah, I mean, if anyone's going to be talking about what anyone's job should be, it shouldn't be a fucking NFL kicker. That's for sure. It's like,
I don't know,
bro, you're a pansy. Like, shut up. Nobody
Yeah.
wants to hear from you.
you're like, they stole you from the soccer team.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's my favorite Larry David quote, I think, that I've ever heard. They get him talking about football.
Yeah.
And he's like, just eliminate the kickers. What is it with these kickers? He's like, we haven't kicked the ball the whole game. And he's
Yeah.
like, now we're going to decide the game on kicking the ball?
I
Like,
agree. I think it's stupid.
it's great. You
Yeah.
got to look it up if you haven't seen it before.
No, I don't know why we kick the ball. It's stupid. Stop doing it. In all aspects of football.
Yeah. Like, imagine the quarterback just, like, throwing it off like flag, like, back in the day.
Yeah. Imagine how exciting a football game would be if they were just like, fuck it, we got 4 downs, let's go. Like, I
Yeah.
don't give a fuck. There's no punting, there's no kicking, there's no nothing.
You remember the high school football coach that played like that?
Yeah. Yeah, and he
like,
fucking
never,
he won.
never kicked it. Yeah,
Yeah.
they won like a crazy amount of times.
Well, that's just it. I feel like everybody, being a Lions fan, everybody was talking shit to me about like, oh, Dan Campbell's fucking decision and, go for it or whatever. It's like people, if they're smart, people are going to be like mimicking him in the next couple
Weren't
of
they
years.
playing like risky business the whole year?
Yeah, it's the only reason
Lions,
we
like-
were fucking there in the
yeah.
first place. If we were punting it when we were supposed to, dude, we would have won fucking 7 games. It's like you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Everybody in the NFL who still kicks the ball or punts the ball in situations, or like, you want to know why Aaron Rodgers is a fucking loser? It's because he only throws 4 interceptions a year. Because he's so fucking terrified of turning the ball over that he doesn't try to go for the big play.
Dude,
like, you're
I
a fucking loser. That's losing football.
I would like to go on a deep dive of Aaron Rodgers' career, though. Because
Yeah.
I feel like there's been more like Green Bay problems that aren't necessarily his fault. Like, there's a lot of fucking stupid shit that's happened.
Yeah.
Like that onside kick that went the wrong way for him. Like, there's a lot of stupid shit
Yeah,
that's
but
happened
that-
in Aaron Rodgers' career that's, like, out of his hands. You know what I mean?
That's but what you're describing is Aaron Rodgers' fucking game plan. He wants it to be out of his hands. His entire career is based on him being able to be like, I
Not my
wasn't the one
bad,
who
yeah.
did that. You know why? Because he's never going to be the guy who elevates you to get past that problem. How many fucking times in Tom Brady's career did something fucking happen where Tom Brady then had to be like, all right, it's on me now. I got to fucking get it done one way or another.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers has never done that. There's not a single moment in his entire career in a meaningful game where like he was just like, yeah, I know you guys fucked that up, but don't worry, this drive, I'm taking this to the promised land no matter what, He's a fucking loser.
Who
Dude's-
did he beat for his one Super Bowl? Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh,
He beat Ben
yeah.
Rod- Damn.
Yeah.
Did he beat the Killer Bees?
We beat that was actually
Like
the Super Bowl.
Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, Ben Roethlisberger,
No, I think that was pre that. I think that was still like the
like Hines Ward,
like the
and-
Willie Parker years. Like that was like 09, I think. But yeah, he beat like a good Steelers team. Like that Steelers team, if you remember, if they won that Super Bowl, like you would have had to have started talking about Ben Roethlisberger in that like pantheon of like, is this guy a top 5 quarterback ever?
I think
Yeah.
I think him losing that break, because it used to be like,
Well,
I
that
feel
was their
like,
last Super Bowl appearance. I'm
yeah,
pretty
like
sure.
a mark
Yeah.
of greatness was like winning like 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
Like if you could pull that off, you're in like this elite group.
Yeah.
and that was his chance to do it.
Well, yeah, because he won. He beat the Seahawks. They beat the fucking Cardinals, and then that would have been it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, though, but if you just look at like all of Aaron Rodgers' career, it's just been him like in that moment. What he'll do is he'll then just check it down, on a 3rd down play or something, and then fucking punt the ball. And it's
Yeah.
like he never is willing to like push the envelope. Because he cares that he only has 4 interceptions a year. Like anytime he played the Seahawks, like back on the Legion of Boom, like he would just cut the field in half because he would just be like, I'm not throwing it in the direction of Richard Sherman. I'm just not doing it. And it's like, you're a pussy. You're a fucking pussy.
Or I mean, you
Yeah.
lay it on the line, like put Brady against that same Seahawks team. He
Yeah.
throws a pick in the red zone.
Yeah.
in the first quarter.
Yeah,
right?
because
getting up to like trying to push it.
Yeah.
Like
but still, that's what you have to do, To me, if you're not a good NFL quarterback unless you're throwing between 14 and 16 interceptions a year, because you got to be trying,
Yeah.
If it's 3rd and 12 and you throw a 30-yard bomb that gets intercepted, I don't give a fuck, man. That's a punt. Like, you just punted it down
Yeah.
early. I don't give a
Yeah.
shit. And
And
if you connect on that pass, it's a huge momentum swing. You're all of a sudden in the driver's seat. Like,
and you kind of took like the randomness associated with like the punt return away as well.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, just because
Like,
you punt the ball doesn't mean that's a fucking wise move.
Yeah.
You punt that fucking ball on your own 40, you punt it down to like the 15, the guy returns it 22 yards. All of a sudden it's like, well, you just gave him back the ball and all you netted was fucking 22 yards.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit, That's a fucking, and then literally 2 plays later, they hit a slant for fucking an 19-yard gain, and it's like, congratulations, this was all for nothing. You know,
That's literally what the Patriots' bread and butter is.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
You know, just the deep post. You know,
Get you to play conservative because you're intimidated, and then fucking have this heart-wrenching play that takes your heart and your mind out of the rest of the game.
Yeah,
Like,
so I think football in general, like, I think it's going to change dramatically in the next couple of years. That's actually why I'm the most down on the Lions this year, because I have a feeling that everybody else is going to come out and kind of be like, oh yeah, we could do that too, and we're better than the Lions, so we'll just be able to steamroll them now. You know, I think they took a sub 500 team, and because of the way they played the game, were able to make them a fucking playoff, like a legitimate playoff contender. Like, we were, you know, pretty damn close to making it to the fucking Super Bowl. But, you know, but even then, I can't fault them because, you know, like I said, we had to play that way. So, you know, it finally burned us in the end.
yeah.
But we wouldn't have been there in the first place without it, you know. So shout out to Dan Campbell. Fucking unbelievable, that guy. I love that dude.
Dude, didn't we talk about didn't he have like this like crazy like press conference?
Oh, he's had so many crazy
about
press
eating,
conferences.
Like he was talking about like eating like ostrich eggs or something like that.
No, that was fake. Yeah.
Oh yeah, something.
That was
I was
like
gonna say like something got disproved. Like it wasn't like it didn't really go down like that.
Well,
but-
yeah, that was kind of just like somebody's joke or whatever. But he has conferences like that. I'll put it this way: I got halfway through it before I was like, "All right, I think this is fake," you know.
Like I want to hear somebody read that in the Stone Cold ET voice.
Yeah. He fucking he asked though the ownership to like bring in a lion.
Yeah.
Like he was like, I want to have a lion in the locker room. Can I have a lion in the locker room? And they
like-
had to be like, you can't put, it's a wild animal. Like you can't put a fucking African lion inside of a locker room in Detroit, Michigan.
They're like, we did that for the MGM logo, and we're still paying out wrongful death suits because of it. Like, no.
shit. You had fucking Siegfried and Roy getting mauled by fucking Bengal tigers, man. We can't just have 700-pound fucking cats rolling around the fucking back hallways of Ford Field. Yeah.
I wrote a fucking letter in the 3rd grade to Bill Clinton. I got my whole class to get behind it about putting embargoes on China because they weren't respecting the endangered Bengal tiger population.
Yeah.
And the White House actually wrote back to us.
Yeah.
And my teacher kept all of the stuff.
What do you mean? Like they didn't even give you a copy of anything?
No. Like she kept everything. Like it
What?
was like a class project. But I fucking got this shit organized.
Yeah.
This is my shit. And I never got to keep anything.
Yeah.
Well, good old Willie, Bill Clinton.
Did he
good
do
old
it?
Willie. No, he didn't. I don't know if he did anything, but they wrote back to us. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, oh, a little 3rd grade class. We'll give him some.
It's probably because he was grooming you.
Problem.
It's probably like, yeah.
There were
Little
suspicions
boy.
that teacher was into shenanigans with the 5th grade teacher, and that teacher at recess time would always be rubbing lotion on his legs.
Ew. I don't
Yeah.
like any of the visuals I got from that.
Yeah. I've had a life.
What are you doing, Mr. What so-and-so? Just lathering up. Like, oh, man.
He'd also be like, he was like a disciplinarian, so if the class got out of control, he'd be like, we're writing composition.
Yeah.
And then like he'd be like, you got to draw margins on your paper. This is like when you go get paper out of the drawer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was like the first one to get the idea, like, yo, I'm going to make fucking my margins so big so I don't have to write as much.
You write like 4 words in each line?
And then he like called me out in front of the class, being like, Mr. Wilk thinks he knows how to circumnavigate the rules. And I was like, yeah.
What is up with the word circumnavigate? Why did everyone learn that word in fucking 3rd grade? Like, it's like we learned
Magellan.
I was going to say, we learned about Magellan, and all of a sudden it's just like everybody knows that word. Yeah.
Nobody tells you that. It's like they're like, Magellan did this, but he also brought the plague to everywhere in North and South America.
Yeah, he's circumnavigated the globe and was responsible for the genocide of 2 entire continents worth of people.
You know that there's some like European explorer that made it to the Amazon like 200 years before everybody else, and he like told this.
Was he German?
I don't know what. If I knew, I would have
He was
told
planting.
you what
He was planting the seeds.
But he brought back this story of this like everybody thought he was lying. Like he said there was this million plus person civilization, this advanced shit, like they were farming and all this stuff. He brought back this, and nobody believed him for years until they finally made it to the Amazon and started cutting the jungle back and seeing all these structures that are in there.
Yeah.
And like now the theory is that that small population of men might have just been enough to unleash the bubonic plague and wipe out that entire sector.
Yeah.
Because when you look at the history of like the Mayans, the Incans, all this stuff, like the story is like nobody knows why things dried up,
Yeah.
why they all died, why they all went the way of nobody knowing.
Yeah.
Like where did they all go out of nowhere? And a plague makes sense. And
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
shout out to my 10th grade history teacher that just died. He wrote a book about this, about how their roads, they had such like I don't know what the word, a marvelous road system
Yeah.
that he thinks that the combination of that small group of explorers coming through and the fact that it was such an easily traversed empire, like that took them all out in like one generation.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, plagues in general and viruses and shit, like, it's kind of crazy how quickly those things can spread.
especially like that, you got no science, no modern nothing.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Well, even in modern day, fucking the AIDS epidemic, they basically like figured out like in the whatever, like at the outset of it, that like the genesis of it was was 1976 in New York City, and the reason was because everyone was there for the fucking bicentennial celebration of like the country. So like at that event, like basically people from all over the world like gathered in New York City, and I don't know, gay sex was happening, and that was though like the catalyst for like one person had that shit in like, you know, North Africa or something, or sub-Saharan Africa, and fucking ended up going to this shit, and then like from there sparked the entire epidemic. Like, yeah. So I mean, it is weird how like one little thing like that can just be like, oh shit, that's where it all comes from, you know?
I just want to let you know that I let you get that entire thought out without me blurting out fucking monkeys.
Yeah, well, hey, I appreciate you allowing me to expound on that.
Yeah.
You butt fucking monkeys, man. Maybe that's the episode title.
Yeah.
Actually, no, we can't because we already have butt fucking Burt Reynolds. Yeah. We have to draw the butt fucking line somewhere.
I thought we had a tagline already. I forgot what it was.
I think it was the Lord's work.
Oh, yeah. Doing the Lord. Episode 6, doing the Lord's
work. Yeah.
But none of us have done any of the Lord's work.
No, well, God, I hope not. If I'm doing the Lord's work, then he doesn't have very high ambitions for any of us.
The Lord's work is just a euphemism for killing terrorists.
Well,
That's all it is.
For that individual, you know. The Lord's work.
Like, how great is that? Like, this guy's got like 3 kids now. His wife's like at home being like a military homemaker. It's like, your father's just doing the Lord's work.
Yeah.
And then like one day those kids are going to grow up and be like, yo, the Lord was up to no good.
Yeah. Well, he isn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Modern Crusades.
Yep. Anyway.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to have to trim this one down significantly, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Figure it out at the butt fucking.
Yep.
All right. Episode 6 in the books.
All right, guys. Like, follow, subscribe, fucking share us.
Yeah. Tell your friends.
Yeah.
We're a good time. You know, we're trying to get a new coffee table or something to put our feet on over
Exactly.
there.
We got to buy some fucking buckets of paint.
Trying to get a Terradrome encased in a fucking piece of fiberglass.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right. Word. Cobra.